Hi, Nina. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Nicole. I'm the social media coordinator for the All American High School Film Festival, and I'm so excited to learn all about your film today. Congrats on being one of our 2025 official selections.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you too.
Well, for starters, I just want to hear a bit about you. Like, tell me where you're from, what high school you go to, and like what got you into film.
So, I'm from California. I go to Rancho Bernardo High School, and what initially got me into film is when in like elementary school they introduced iMovie to us, and I kind of just started messing around with it with some friends and had a lot of fun with that. And just kind of from there started making videos and editing them and like just sending them out to friends for fun and kind of just got myself here.
I feel like that's how we all started. We all have some sort of iMovie movies out there somewhere. Okay, so this next part's gonna be a little bit of like an activity. I'm gonna give you 60 seconds, and I want you to give me like an elevator pitch of your film. So like the main theme, the genre, like the hook, like all that kind of stuff. Like if you were to sell your film to me in 60 seconds, like that's what it's gonna be. So I'm gonna count you down. Ready? Three,
Yes.
two, one, go.
So, my film is Infected. It is an apocalyptic film. It's a zombie apocalypse, and it follows the main character, a woman named Rowan, who is just kind of trying to survive the apocalypse. She's kind of isolated from everyone else. She has a bow and arrow and is like protecting herself, and she's doing great. And then she runs into a girl named Sage who has like kind of been like surviving the zombie apocalypse by a miracle. Like she's very underprepared. So she saves her from a horde of zombies and they start to kind of rely on each other and they become friends and they also eventually become lovers. To then they kind of just leads to a devastating ending, but it's kind of just like about like finding hope in each other in a like devastating and stressful time.
Okay, well, you did that right on the dot. It literally says 1 second left. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. When I saw your title was Infected, I was kind of hoping it was going to be like an apocalypse type of thing. So that's really cool. So, what inspired you to make this film?
The Last of Us TV show heavily inspired this film. Like the whole aesthetic of it, of like fungi growing everywhere and everything just being like naturey and green. I actually have not watched the entire show, but like the first two episodes just like heavily immediately inspired me into like that aesthetic, and I knew that I wanted to do something in that direction. I also generally really like fantasy and dystopian genres, so it was generally up my alley to do as well.
That's so cool. So, like, other than The Last of Us, was there any other inspiration that, or like influences that you had for making this film? Like, some sort of type of director or another film or like a real life experience?
Um, Not really, other than like my own personal interests. Like, I like pulling at people's heartstrings with like stories that I tell, so I knew I wanted to have like a very specific ending to it. Um, Although maybe like experiences wise, I went to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios a couple years ago, and they had a Last of Us themed haunted house there. And that was super fun to walk through because you could see the zombies like coming at you, and the characters and everything, and kind of immersing myself in that also, I think, probably inspired some portion of Infected.
That's super cool. So, was there any? I feel like with these types of films, like the behind the scenes has to be hilarious, like when the cameras aren't rolling. So, can you tell me a little bit about what that was like?
So, definitely. So, the main two actresses, they are both also huge Last of Us fans. So, like, I immediately knew, like, you guys need to be in this. They're also theater kids, so, like, they know how to act. Some, I guess, like, hilarious stories is with the weapon props that we used. We had, a bow and arrow, and we had, a knife, and so nothing like dangerous happened or anything, but there were just some like funny things where we were like shooting the bow and arrows like in the dark and then we never found one of the arrows. um or like accidentally like shot it into a bush and also just like never found it after that. Or the knife. There's a scene where Sage, the character, she throws the knife, and we had like padding on like off camera for the knife to fall on. It was like on a chair. We had like a box, but it hit the chair instead, and it made like a really loud clang. So we had to like redo that shot. Um, we also had like a lot of makeup going into this for like zombie bites and just general like zombie makeup. And so that was also kind of funny because they looked pretty realistic, like to me in person. So it was like kind of freaky to look at it. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Yeah, rumor has it those arrows are still out there, huh? Like
they are still out
never
there somewhere.
never found
Never found them.
them. So what do you think the biggest challenge was making this film?
Oh, for sure the audio, because if it's since it's an apocalyptic film and it's kind of like that, like most humans have transformed into these zombies, and like no one's gonna go around like driving or anything, then background noise was like a huge thing that we had to pay attention to. So like we can't have little kids screaming in the background in a scene. We can't have the sounds of a freeway or a car going by. So we would always like have to pay a lot of attention to where we were filming. And then also if there happened to be like a plane going by in a scene, then a lot of the times in editing I just had to like press voice isolation and like try to make it as quiet as possible to make it less noticeable. And then of course adding like naturey ambiance.
Okay, so for my last question, which I think is the most important one, why should people make sure to go see your film at our festival?
Oh, I mean, I think it's a cool film. I might be a little biased. But generally, it does have heavy Last of Us vibes to it. Like the people that I've shown the film to, but like without even saying that that was the inspiration, that would be like the first thing that they say. So to any like Last of Us fans, I think this would definitely be your movie. Other than that, if you like um kind of apocalyptic, fantastical, dystopian films, this would also be it. There is LGBTQ representation, so that's always important. Um, I don't know. I think it's a cool film. I think people should go watch it. I'm proud of it.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We're super excited about featuring your work in our festival. And for those attending the fest, you can see Infected on Saturday, October 18th during screening number 19 at the AMC Empire 25 theaters in Times Square, New York City. We'll see you in October.
Thank you so much.